The Dugout Ranch, a symbol of the Old West in the heart of Utah's Red Rock Canyon lands, and home to longtime rancher Heidi Redd.
When I first arrived at the dugout, I was 26 years old, just a young gal, and I distinctly remember the first time coming down Indian Creek and the magnificent red rocks and those green trees and the crackling blue sky, and it made a deep impression on me right from the very start.
Heidi's love for this land inspired her to stay and run the Dugout Ranch.
Basically, it's a horseback outfit just like it was in the 1800s. Most of the time we are moving cattle, very similar to how it's been done for 100 years.
But times are getting tougher.
We really scramble to make it pay.
Barry Baker, one of the Nature Conservancy's top climate scientists, recognizes the dire situation facing Heidi and others like her.
Livestock grazing in these more arid areas is getting increasingly more difficult because ranchers are on the margin here. It's really hard to eke out a living here.
Today, ranchers must contend not only with drought, but also rising temperatures.
We're already seeing the impacts of climate change in this part of the world, on the Colorado Plateau. We've had a prolonged drought over the last 10 years. We're seeing changes in our grass species. More specifically, we're losing cool season grasses. We're seeing more warm season grasses. We're seeing changes in temperature, precipitation patterns. And if you look at sort of the projections of where temperatures are heading, we're seeing that this area is still continuing to warm and may continue to warm well into this century. And if that happens, it's going to make ranching even tougher.
The whole existence of this cattle ranch depends on grass. If I lose these grasses, I am no longer in business. And not only am I not in business, but all wildlife will be gone.
But there is hope. Heidi is partnering with Nature Conservancy scientists to launch the Canyonlands Research Center, a facility dedicated to the study of climate change on the Colorado Plateau.
By having this working ranch, we can actually use this herd to see how we can have a sustainable ranching operation and sustainable ecosystem services.
One of the exciting things about the research center is that it does encompass the 300,000 acres that we run cattle on, plus the park that has no cattle. So we have a real interesting laboratory. So if there's anything that I think will enable us to continue ranching, it's joining forces with the scientists to answer a lot of these questions.
This to me is a natural marriage between a longtime rancher who loves and cares about where she lives and works, and an organization whose mission is to conserve those lands.
These landscapes in the West that are untouched are so important for mankind. And if we lose this kind of outback, if it's all developed, if it's all into this hectic rush for activity and recreation, we've lost a lot of our heritage. There is something about the spirit of Indian Creek that never leaves you. It seeps into you. It isn't just this surface thing that you're seeing, it's something you're feeling as well. All your senses just come alive, and you know this is home. This is where you are meant to be.